Okay. Yeah, so basically a summary of the case is that the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company, they've partnered with Millennium Partners, and they're opening a new hotel in Washington, D.C. Um, and in doing so, they hire their employees and they have a 7-day training period. Um, and so with that, uh, they're trying to evaluate what to do. The Ritz Carlton Hotel kind of want to keep their way they run things the same. The owners of Millennium Partners, or the person managing it, kind of wants to speed things up that way, or he wants to make it so they maybe have a longer training period so they can be more profitable and open the hotel at a higher capacity.
Yeah. What was the issues that you saw in this? There was a lot of problems, probably more.
Yeah, so the issues I identified, let me pull up my write up. So the issues I identified was the loss of revenue from low occupancy, and then the ingrained tradition that kind of is there with the Ritz Carlton Hotel Company, and doing things a certain way. And the last one was kind of a conflict of interest among the partnership.
Yeah, yeah, because one wanted to do more like a human resources, and the other one wanted to do more like a quality management.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't agree on that. One wanted to focus on one thing and the other on the other. And I think it's important to have both. That's just, I think both are important in a business.
Yeah.
Well, right here asked me that I define the competitive advantage, what it means, and so
Uh-huh.
I Google it and I have the definition here and I can read it. It says an advantage that a firm has over its competitors, allowing it to generate greater sales or margin or and retain more customers than its competition. There can be many types of competitive advantages, including the firm's cost structure, product offerings, distribution network, and customer support.
Okay.
So, you think they had a lot of advantages in competition?
I think the Ritz Carlton Hotel really did have a lot of advantages. They had kind of their reputation, which is a huge competitive advantage. They're kind of thought of as the best hotel, company. Other things is just their high, levels of service that they give, the way they do things like that and their training. I think that really gives them an advantage for sure.
Yeah, I think they were the only hotels that did so much, customer service or trying to make the people there feel, I mean, have everything they want. They did a high customer service.
Yeah.
And this says, what does they create late how they no, okay, how does the Ritz create ladies and gentlemen in only 7 days?
I think they do it in a few ways. I think they really inspire their employees. They get them hyped up about it. Just kind of the way they do the training. That's probably the biggest thing of that.
Yeah, I think, well, I think it was 7 days is not very much time that they can do with so many people,
No, I
but
didn't
I
think it was either.
no, not too much time, but I like the way that they said that, the customers are ladies and gentlemen, and all the employees, they're ladies and gentlemen, but also
Hmm.
they were treated the same way.
Yep, that was a really good way to put that.
Yeah. How do you describe the leadership and values of the hotel?
Yeah, I really think some of the values, I guess, in the leadership, I definitely agree that they promote hard work. They like to promote from within. You know, um, obviously honesty, service. People being replying in a timely manner. I guess um, all those things kind of tie into that.
Yeah. Do you see any weaknesses though?
Any weaknesses?
Yeah, in the way of leadership.
Weaknesses in the leadership. I don't know of any. What do you think?
I think the only thing that they probably could improve was the communication that they have between the managers. They probably had to sit down and decide what they want to do. Just put the human resources and the quality all together. I mean, just they have to agree what they both want and do both. And I think there was not very much communication between them. One wanted to do it his way, then the other wanted to do it his way.
Yeah, I
So
I guess kind of that kind of ties into how the person in charge of the Ritz Carlton Hotel, James McBride, um, he's kind of in charge of that. And then his relationship with Brian Collins, that it's not really it is mutually beneficial, but it feels one sided.
yeah,
That the hotel, they really go about having a great reputation, promoting that. When they could maybe sacrifice a little bit of the service or modify it to deliver the same way of service. It might be a little more complex to do so, but it provide Millennium Partners, with more profit because the hotel could open up to a higher capacity than 50%.
yeah. So in your opinion, what did you put in your paper? It's just they have to extend the time, the 7 day, or it just have to stay the same?
Yeah, so the one thing I put is that they should work with their partners. They should make the 7 days longer, and that they should increase the occupancy rates.
Yeah. Okay. So right here it says if you said that they have to extend it, the question is how much more time do you think it would take to get the staff ready to handle the 80%?
My thing wasn't to open initially right away at 80%, but maybe a little, higher 60, 70, 75 even, somewhere around
Yeah.
there. But that they should, change that to be let's see, what did I put in my write up? 2 to 3 weeks of training. So 10
I
to
think,
15 days.
yeah. Yeah, I think that 1 week is too short because there's so many people there, but maybe 2, 3 weeks probably would be the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And then at least you start with 70 or 75 and then get to the 80 faster. Um, let's see what the other question says, do you think you can maintain momentum for that long?
The momentum for what?
I don't know. It says momentum for that long. I think it's just to keep the employees in the training, the orientation, to keeping the enthusiasm, keeping the same enthusiasm that they started the first day, all the way to the 3 weeks if we extend it to 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think it would be a little harder to keep that same momentum and excitement throughout
Yeah,
the whole time. But with that as well, I feel like people aren't going to be as stressed. I don't know if you've ever been in a job situation where you feel like you're not quite trained for the job enough, and then you're just thrown into the fire. And that, I think, in this situation is more, has a bigger consequence and is more intense than the other situation.
yeah, yeah. I don't think they're going to have the same. I don't know if you remember that part. They said everybody was like, really excited the first day, and but I think after they train for a while, then it's going to come down. But then they're going to realize that yeah, having more train, they're going to feel more secure, about what they're going to be doing,
Mm-hmm.
more confident about themselves, what they're going to be doing with more time.
Yeah.
And so the other question is, other ways that staff could get experience without delaying the opening?
The other thing I put was that I guess one thing I put that's kind of a little different was to kind of modify the kind of the staff hours to be proportional to the occupancy. So even if the occupancy, not starting out at 80%, maybe 60%, well, then you have your staff be a little more proportional to that. And so they're under their normal load. And then maybe during that time, you can actually have supervisors helping them, watching that, and team leaders. And then you can actually see, okay, well, we have enough people here because we're not at our goal occupancy of 80%. If we're at 60%, that gives us 25% of the time that we can use to train kind of in between, shifts or on the job or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe just a couple hours extra a day or something that they can keep training. That's good. What principles, if any, form these lessons reading apply to this case? I don't get this question. No.
What principles of the gospel?
Yeah, it says principle, doesn't specify what it is. What principles from this lesson apply to the case? I don't know.
The scripture that comes to mind, I guess, is you know, don't run faster than you have strength.
Uh-huh. So that would be like not pushing too much to do so much in so small period of time.
Yeah, I mean, you can only do so much, and I think moderation and doing that, and not doing too much is really gonna be the key for that.
Yeah. Well, in this case, usually you know that at the end of the questions they tell you what's the end of it or what's the outcome. But this time they asked me to do the research about what happened after the case or after they opened. So I just researched a little bit, and I found out that they still growing. Well, I can read the part, but well, it's a little long. But I just found out that they're still a leading brand in luxury lodging. Um,
Yep.
they received some awards. What is called the Malcolm Beach National Quality Award. They were in the training magazine. There 8 years ago, they have a different CEO, so it's not what's his name. Ma, Ma, what's his name? McBride. I think he left in 2007, and then the last 8 years is the CEO is Copper, and now right now they have 38,000 employees, 73 properties in 24 countries.
Okay.
So guessing that for this, what they're doing right now is like the way they were doing it, it was right because they kept growing and they kept doing it their way. And I don't know, I couldn't find anything about if they changed, the 7 day or not. Um, but they still have their they say that one of the remarkable policies that they have now is to permit every employee to spend up to $2,000 making any single guest satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's pretty
read
cool.
that.
If you go up to 2,000, that's really cool.
Yep.
So I think for what I read, I just believe that all the employees are satisfied working there. They like it, so they like the way they're doing business, and they keep the employees for a long time.
What was that? I didn't quite catch that. Sorry, it kind of cut out.
Oh, the last part I said that that I believe that for what I read that the employees are satisfied working there. They know they're happy.
Oh yeah.
They, yeah, they like working there.
Sounds like they really take care of their employees, so of course I think they would be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think for what they doing and being so successful, I think they take care of both the human resources, the employees, and then the quality of their service.
Mhm.
But what do you think about that part that it says, the that when they did the orientation, when they talked to the lower employees, the housekeeping and the cook, they said that the most important is service, what they do. And then when they talked to the upper management, they said that the main purpose of the hotel is to make money. What do you think about that?
I really think it comes down to, I guess, the clearances that different people in the company have. Um, I guess at my work, I'll hear something, my manager or I might tell my team something, but then among us, among the management and supervisors, we'll actually talk about other issues, the actual real issues. So
Yeah, so maybe it's okay that because the management, yeah, they have to know more about the money that they're making and stuff, but
yeah.
the employees they don't need to know that. Yeah,
hmm Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. It's kind of a need to know basis, and you tell different people different things based upon where they're at within the company because that's just how business is run, honestly.
yeah. Well, I don't have any more questions. So, do you have anything else to add about this?
I don't. Do you?
No, I think that I think that the outcome is I was expecting the same. It's not like the other cases that we were surprised about the outcome.
Yep.
Um, this one I thought that's gonna was going to happen. Right? They'll keep being successful and keep opening new hotels and everywhere. So
hmm
okay, well I think we thank you for participating and we just Nate is his fault that I changed the time. So
Yeah.
we'll yeah he should be included in the team anyway.
I agree. Here I'm gonna stop the broadcast.
Okay.